Hello and welcome to my channel to plan for. I started a little experiment roughly 10 days ago. I want to figure out if a combination of a Hobonichi Weeks with a Traveler's Notebook Diary Weekly would work for me. And actually I'm having a lot of fun with this setup. If you're interested what exactly I did, watch, I think it was my previous video. But basically I made my kind of a Hobonichi dupe, like at least with the same layout, printed it on rodeo paper and tried to use it in combination with my Traveler's Notebook. I mean, it's the same layout, but it's the undated one as a Traveler's Notebook Diary Weekly. So yeah, I have been using these two together and it's fun. It's going well, but it still needs some improvement. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do today. I'm trying to figure out a little bit more structured what I want to use each notebook for, or each planner for. And yeah, I will be doing a lot of talking, not much to see, but if you want to do this little thought experiment with me, then yeah, just listen and maybe also watch whatever suits you, and maybe you find some inspiration for your own setup. So what I did is I printed the main pages from the Hobonichi Weeks, and I want just to write what I want to use them for. And also I did the same for the Traveler's Notebook Diary Weekly and Weekly and Memo, I guess that's what it's called. The main pages there, and also I'm gonna see how I will use them. So where does this whole experiment, or what am I trying to achieve? So I have always been using one bullet journal for everything, and now I want to separate a little bit better the different aspects of my journaling, and I thought that might be helpful to do this in different planners as well. So I thought it basically I want to separate in planning, project management, life management, whatever. I mean, it's my personal planner, it's not for work. That's work and personal planners are definitely separated for me, as I have to do a lot of planning at work and it would never fit in one planner. So yeah, it's managing my personal life. That's what I think I want to use the Hobonichi for. And the Traveler's Notebook more for memory keeping. So I think I could say that the Hobonichi is more future oriented. Like planning is, I want to organize my tasks, chores, different areas of my life more targeted during the future. And then I want to use my Traveler's Notebook. I think I will need some blotting paper, otherwise it will be difficult to turn around the page. And to use my Traveler's Notebook more past oriented towards the past, basically more for memory keeping. But that's also not strictly true, because if I do some, I don't know, habit tracking and things like that, that's also not only future, because I mean you track something after you did it, so it's, I think that's not a strict separation, but it's more like a tendency. The one is more targeted towards the future, the other is more targeted towards the past. Basically, I want to have in my traveler's notebook, I think that the word diary is here really already correct. I want to have something where I can record my memories. I don't know if that's correct. Yeah, I mean the past, what happened, and I think, I mean, if you look at this traveler's notebook, you have only like 2 pages or a spread per week. And I think for the most part, that's more than enough. Very often, my life is, I mean, I guess just normal. Getting up, doing stuff, going to work, coming back, like finishing work, doing, I don't know, have some hobbies, whatever, but nothing like life-changing or like the big events. That doesn't happen that often. So I think those 2 pages are, or one spread is more than enough for memory keeping for me. Like, but if I have more to remember, like I'm going on a vacation, I would take a separate insert with me anyway. But for everyday life, I think that's good. So what do I really want to have here in my traveler's notebook? So in the weekly, it's definitely memories of the day. Also, and that's why I like to have the traveler's notebook insert here, because it's first of all, the whole year is split into 2 inserts, and it's not like this hardcover thing, so it's, I guess, easier to grow, because I would like to include photos. The thing is, if I only write, it's sometimes hard to find the things in the past I would like to go back to, because it's just a lot of writing. But with like this visual aid, it might be easier. And I think there also comes into this monthly view, because that could be something, maybe let's call it like an index, or what I could say, event index. Let's just say index, because if I have something noteworthy to written down on my weekly page, where I think I would like to go back to it, I can write maybe a word or 2 in the monthly view. And it only makes sense if I don't fill out every single line, because then it's so much again that I don't find what or let's say it, then it's harder to have a quick overview or glance at that important things in my life. So I think if I have something I want to remember or might want to revisit, I would make a note in the monthly view. So then I can go back to the, or find the week easier where it happened. Also with including the photos, it's more interesting to flip through because, I mean, I'm not really a person who looks much back. And that's exactly the reason why I wanted to start kind of a diary. So I have even the option to go back and maybe something to motivate me to look back. Let's see, I don't know. But so here, the TN Diary Weekly, really memory keeping. Or if something special happened. So that's something I would always do. Well, memory is after the event. It's not something where I would write down something that's supposed to happen in the future. I don't know, even about the travel or planned vacation or, I don't know, some other kind of big event. First of all, there might always be some kind of change, but yeah, I want this to be a record of the past. Then I'm asking myself if I even need the yearly view. I don't know, maybe I want to just color code here big vacations, or I don't know. It would be more of marking certain time periods. I mean, things that lasted more than a day. I can only imagine for this, I don't know, traveling. I don't know if there will be other things, time periods. But yeah, so maybe let's put it just here. Vacation. Also, I mean, that's rather special to my situation in life because my life is more or less split up between 3 countries. Between Austria, France, and Switzerland. So I could afterwards color code where I am, maybe the location, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But what I'm sure about is how I want to use this weekly view. Memory keeping photos. I would like also to include more sketches. Sketching, drawing. Of let's see, what's today? I mean, of every day moments. The thing is, I also need to find for myself a clear separation because I don't want to ever have to think about okay, where am I going to put something now? It must be 100% clear, and also for me there must not be any question about where do I find something, because nope, that does not work for me. So I see this diary keeping more as evening or weekend activity. Evening because then the day is already over, so I have something to look at and to look back at. Let's see. When do I want to write? And that would be in the evening or on the weekend. So I don't think it would be necessary for me to use this diary or to write in this diary every day. I mean, as I already mentioned, very often my life is like the life of most people. It's just everyday activities and not much to write down. So I don't see that I would have to write something every day. So maybe, but then maybe something happens where I want to use the space of more than one day. So I could go like beyond one box and just like mark it where it belongs. So I don't see myself 100% restricted with this space or even the the obligation to write something every day. Yeah, so that's how I plan to use my TN diary weekly and memo. So in contrast with that, my Hobonichi Weeks. So, yeah, as I said already, more future oriented. And so what I definitely see myself doing in the weekly is, first of all, task planning. Yeah, just the stuff I have to do. Maybe it's on a specific day or not, but the things I should get done in a week. Also, task planning. How do I call this? Like, I mean, lately this personal schedule has become a keyword I came across many times. For me, continuous learning is part of my, I don't know, lifestyle. That's a stupid word, but I work in IT, so I think it's just necessary to keep up with new stuff. So I try to devote every single day, and well, not every single day, every work day, an hour to learning something new. Or yeah, just that I don't feel left behind in all the innovations that come around. So like, how am I going to call this? Because I do this, I like learning, but not only for work, but also in a personal sense. So how do I distinguish this? Maybe make it simple. Learn for work. It sounds a little bit awkward, but and then I have also this other part, learn for life. Here I would be like, I like practice or play the piano, try to do this every day, or improve my drawing or painting skills, or I don't know, language learning. So that's the learning part that's not work related. It's just because I want to improve my skills in a certain area. And that can be learn how to cook a new recipe or a new dish. I mean, there are many, many ways of learning. So those are the things I definitely want to track in my weekly view, because it's always helpful for me if I have like some learning goals or some structure. So, okay, so I have task planning, then like learning schedule for work, for life. Also, I would say here is the meal prep. Let's call it meal prep. Let's not make it too complicated with the words. Like I have like a menu for the week. It's the purpose is simply that when I go shopping, I know what to buy and don't waste food. So I usually plan what I will cook next week. My food shopping happens on Saturday or Sunday, and I go to the market and just need to have a plan what I need to buy. So first of all, I have all the ingredients I need, and don't need to throw away good food because I bought the wrong stuff. So that's definitely something. I could take a look here. What else have I done? Yeah, that's learning. Oh yeah, then this whole habit tracking thing. I mean, habit tracking for me, once it's already a habit, I don't need to track it anymore. Like I'm in a habit brushing my teeth in the morning, and I don't need to track that because do that every day anyway, twice. So, but first of all, if I want to build up a new habit, or I don't know, have some kind of like, or I want to be proud of myself that I really stuck with a habit. So I think here this yearly view comes into place. Let's put it here for the moment. I don't know, maybe it's not the right place. But I think it could make sense. What else? Then I definitely want to do some budget planning. Or it's not planning, it's budget. Budget tracker. I simply want to see where my money is going, and well, the main purpose is that I'm spending, not overspending is not the right word, but don't consume unnecessary stuff. So I definitely see myself doing some budget tracking in the back of the Hobonichi Weeks on the blank pages. What else? I mean, events, meetings, appointments that are in the far future are always on my Google Calendar. That's for me the source of truth. So I'm just wondering if I should also put them in the monthly view. The thing is, these digital calendars make it so much easier to move around meetings or appointments. Once they're written in a calendar, yeah, of course you need some correction tape, whatever. I think I would give it a try. To write it in here, not knowing if it would work in the long run. So meetings and appointments in the future. Maybe, I don't know. So what else? Okay, we have this whole task. Yeah, also, I guess what belongs in here is this, how should I call it? Like, it's not a task when I plan exercise, sport, training schedule. Let's put, it's a big word for me, but let's call it like that. So, also on the blank pages, I want to track my, well, it goes towards budget tracking, but my stationery purchases, and I have two things I like to buy, and that's stationery and books. For all other things, I'm not really tempted. Let's just leave it at stationery purchases, and also online shopping, where online shopping, again, and stationery purchases are very closely related. So simply like when you order something and just to have a track record, when did I order it? Did it arrive? Things like that. So those are things I would. I mean, the Hobonichi Weeks, depending on if you get the regular one or the mega. Even the regular one has, I think, 70 pages or something like that in the English version. So that should be, that's quite a bit of space. I don't, let's see, what else could I put here? So let's look at it a little bit more structured again. So yearly view. Here, habit tracking. I don't see any other purpose for this page or this spread. I mean, there is not much space in there. So I think, well, I mean, I'm curious to hear your ideas, what you are using each page for. but I personally don't have many other ideas for that monthly view. That's a page I'm meeting an appointment in the future. As I said, I'm not so sure about that. Maybe it is more of a creative mood board page, because I see limited ways to use it in a functional way currently. Mood board or creative space. Because the thing is, I mean, people do decorate their Hobonichi Weeks so nicely. But I think, especially for me, with trying to fit everything in this planner, I mean, all the aspects that are going on in my life, I see on the weekly view not much space for decoration, as it's already a very small space when it comes to the planning and all the task management. So I see myself doing more decorating stuff on the monthly view. Yeah, I think. I was also thinking, no, that doesn't work. I just had in mind if I want to track which books I've been reading or so, if I would like to do this in my monthly view, in the traveler's notebook. But I think that doesn't make sense. I keep a reading journal anyway, so keep that stuff separate. Okay, so what else? What else could I do with the blank pages? I mean, of course, whenever I run out of space on the weekly view, I can always reference a page, a blank page in the back, and they are numbered, so it's, I guess it's easier to say, okay, if I run out of space here, then I'm gonna go to page 16 and fine, and there I have other lists or oh yeah, all kinds of collections. And I do have quite a few collections that might be like places to visit, or yes, that's also a thing, a wish list. Because I try to buy things not immediately, put them on a wish list and see if I still want them a couple weeks, couple months later, because very often there's things which were in the moment I discovered them the most important thing to get, and so amazing and fantastic and whatever, and then 2 weeks later this moment of excitement has passed, and that's well, don't really need it. So what else here? They have task planning, learning for work, for life, meal prep. Oh, of course. I mean, yeah. The most obvious thing for a planner and calendar. I mean, I definitely, when I do my weekly planning, I want to when I plan my next week, I definitely want to take a look at what are the appointments I already have, or let's say appointments, or yeah, appointments, meetings it's in a personal context, certainly not the right word. Let's just call it appointments or planned events. Like, definitely also important when it comes to this whole task planning, task management, to have a realistic view on the time I have to complete them, being that I have like personal stuff going on, or I'm traveling for work, and I'm not even at home, so have like evening events, whatever. So that's definitely something here. Like task planning, that's pretty much a to-do list. Then what else could I do here? What else? I mean, the spread on a Hobonichi Weeks, it's small. So I need to be careful with the stuff I put in there. I already learned this in the very short time with my little Hobonichi dupes experimentation. What else could I do? Well, let's call it meal prepping and meal tracking. I don't know. I like to plan out my meals, but then it's also important for me to go back and see, I mean, did I really cook what I had planned? Because this feedback for myself is important to be able to adjust my plans accordingly. Okay, well, let's take a different approach here. Let's see about the time when I see myself setting up these things. So the weekly planning, well, as the name already suggests, happens for me. It's usually a weekend thing, like plan the next week ahead. You can plan the following week. But also I see myself doing some kind of daily check-in, just like, validating if I'm what I had planned for the day, or if I'm still on track with whatever. But most of the time would be invested into this setup on the weekend, and then every day it would be only like maybe a minute or two just to check in, or maybe add something, but not really that much time spent into in my planner. Here for the blank pages. Well, it depends. I mean, like the budget tracker, that's something I try to do on a daily basis if I purchase something, especially if I purchase something and pay cash, if it's which doesn't happen that often, but otherwise, I mean, I have everything on my credit card or bill, so I can go back and update it on the weekend. So I'm just gonna put in here daily, because it depends. I guess some certain collections I maybe will only add something, I don't know, a couple times a year. Other things that might be of use for me more often. Let's see. Anyway, next thing here. The monthly view. I really see myself in this more or less once a month. I mean, I might add things later on, but I think that's definitely nothing I would check in daily, but yeah, let's stick with once a month. The habit tracker. Well, the yearly view, and this, I mean, weekly view, I said once a week, monthly view, once a month. But now with the yearly view, we're not once a year, but actually then I think more or less daily. If I want to, I mean, depends on what kind of habits I want to track. Not every habit needs to happen every single day. Like there are habits which you only want to, like sports, for example. Maybe it's completely okay to say, okay, I try to exercise 3 times a week. I mean, it's still a habit, but not a daily habit. Do I have a plan now? I think, at least for myself, I got a better idea where I want to track something, or where I would like to put which information. As I'm still at the beginning of my Hobonichi traveler's notebook journey, experimentation phase, moving out of a bullet journal, one for everything. So this definitely will change. I mean, that's if journaling or all this planning stuff is a hobby for you. I mean, you know, it's also fun to change things around, to not do the same stuff all the time. So it's definitely not like, okay, now I have figured it out, and no, that's what I'm going to do for the next 5 years. But I think I got an idea for a starting point. And I will continue with my experimental setup together with my TN and see if that even makes sense for me. And see how I like this separation. Maybe I will have a clearer idea of the at the end of the month, or at the latest, definitely at the end of November, if I enjoy this setup or not, or maybe I will only go with one planner. But that's my idea for the moment. That's what I will be trying to stick to. And yeah, just see, does it work out for me or not? Okay, that's, I guess, all the thoughts I had to share for today. Maybe you did your own journaling at the same time, or came up with your planner plan. I like that word. It's so ridiculous. But yeah, I guess only planner people understand that this word is not ridiculous. But we also have this more fancy sounding word, journaling ecosystem. But I think planner plan is better. Yeah, anyway, that's what I think I will be doing for the next few weeks anyway, and then have a recap afterwards, see if it works out or not. I mean, definitely I can't do this yearly view, monthly view stuff at the moment because I only have my little homemade Hobonichi dupe. But yeah, at least this traveler's notebook and Hobonichi separation I will be trying out. Okay, I hope this was not too boring for you. And I really would like to hear your ideas, how you're going to use either your Hobonichi, your traveler's notebook, diary, or of course, also the combination of those two systems. Thank you very much for listening and have a nice day. See you. Bye.